It's a, hey, Jamie, how are you? It's on the chopping block, and I'm not happy about that. Refusing to swear in the young lady from Arizona. We discussed that last night. Now, I understand that some Democrats, Carol Sue, I don't know if she's here or not, she sent me the link to actually see the video where the Democrats were marching through the chamber on Capitol Hill. I'm going to say that because I'm not sure where they were. And they were saying, vote her in, and they're refusing to vote this poor woman in. She succeeded her dad's seat. He passed away. And children with disability, we discussed that last night. And then we highlighted just a little bit, deportations and immigration raids have started to impact our food supply. Yeah, 6 voted to stop it and 3 wanted to save it. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The Pentagon, we talked about that in the press. And what's going on. I'm going to shake my head. Okay, let's wait that little cat. Okay, Caterpillar, I see you. Thank you for that. And then we did not talk about Israeli forces actually have said that there's a specific boundary that Palestinians are not supposed to cross. And they're saying that folks crossed it and they have already taken out 15 people. That was last night. Yep. Old Clarence Thomas, you guessed it. So he did that. So a couple things I wanted to also cover today is we know that No King's Day is coming up. And I wanted to make sure that we talk about what to do when you are out there and you're on. I can't either, Jamie. Jamie says, I can't believe everything that is going on. It is nonstop. It's a fascist tool to overwhelm us. And you know what? I'm here for all the shits. Y'all don't have to be, because I got it. I got it. It's all good. Let me do it. Yep. There are people that were built for this. Okay. It ain't a whole lot at this point in my life that can stress me the hell out. It's not. It's really, really not. You know, the biggest thing that stresses me out is realizing that my children don't need me. And I'm looking for stuff to do. You know what I mean? But give it to me and I'll make sure that it gets sent out. You feel me? I'm so serious about that. Don't stress yourself out about it. The idea is to ultimately get you all the information that you need so you can make better decisions. And some of us are absolutely beginning to understand that. Now, if you've been a part of the neighborhood for some time, we've been talking about this. What have we been talking about? Keeping our money to ourselves, working in smaller silos and communities that we live in, and focusing there as opposed to continuing to give our tax dollars to people who do not have our best interest at heart. That's what we focus in over here, because there won't always be a march. Okay, it's not. And so I do definitely want to take the majority of today's time, and I want to talk about what you need to do. Hold on, because of course somebody's talking to me. Okay. And what you need to do to protect yourself. I know it's different, you know, but I understand that they have their own lives, and I understand. I told my son I was cooking today, even though I don't feel like it. Because see, I've gotten to the point where I go out and I eat one time. This morning, I went and ate at the grocery. You know how the little grocery store like this, Ingles near my house, has like the little breakfast section, and then it turns over to lunch and so forth. And it's super, super crazy cheap. I have discovered that I have spent less money as a single woman living on my own than I ever did when I had children. Yes. I took my son. My son wanted me to take him grocery shopping for the very first time. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you show me what to do? I was like, yeah, I'll show you what to do. And he was like, well, I want to eat clean. Can you? And I was like, yeah, I can show you what to do. Come on, let's go. So I take him, and he realized how much food really is. And he was like, how are you doing this? I was like, I don't even know. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about a couple of things that you need to do. Let me pull my list up. Now, if you are going to the event this weekend, some people are going to call it whatever they want, but I'm going to call it the No Kings Day for what it is. So we are not surprised. All right. Let's talk about some practical things that you can do, even though I don't know if there's a list or anything that's going out. You taught them how to grocery shop when they were in elementary school. Most of the time they would be in school when I was doing it. And then there was a time, honey, when I was going to standing in line at churches to make sure they ate. So they know how to do either or. But yeah, and I know I'm not the only one that's done that. So let's get into it. First of all, you need to know your rights. Okay? You need to know your rights as someone who is making a decision to be a part of No Kings. Okay? Why is this so important? Because it's Saturday. And I'm going to reiterate this tonight as well. So it's one thing to get up, put your clothes on, do all the things that you're doing, XYZ, right? Go into whatever the location is that you want to be a part of. But I would encourage you to make sure that you find out everything that you can about the locations that you're going to be on, any press or anybody that is going to be there on the ground. You need to find them, identify where they are, and to also make sure that you understand that there is an actual website where you can go. Right. They find a man. Jamie said, ICE fined a man in Chicago for not having his immigration papers on his physical person. Y'all, they out here cutting up. So let's go through a couple of things. So I'm on the nokings.org website. If you want to follow along, I would encourage you to do so. It's the first thing I want to talk about. Then I want to talk about what they're planning on doing in California during these No King rallies. So first thing, find your event. Now, I understand that they're expecting a lot. Whoa. That is large. So there's a map. Isn't that horrifying? Bookish black boy mom. Isn't that terrible? Carrying your freedom papers is now essential. But you know what? Growing up where I did, you better not leave the house without your identification. You better not. So I'm looking at the map where they're saying you need to be. So a couple of things: protest safety, know your rights, and de-escalation training. So before you hit the streets, they had a join our Know Your Rights, protest safety, and de-escalation training, and it's on it's on YouTube, so you can go ahead and check it out at No Kings, and they're talking about how to de-escalate a couple of things, right? So that is currently available to you if you want to go ahead and check that out. You've been carrying your passport in your pocket. I don't blame you. I don't go anywhere without my documentation, sans my social security card, because you're not supposed to carry that with you. I've never lost it. So I have the original one my mom gave me. Isn't that scary? All right. So there's been call trainings in both Spanish and English. And then what's next after No Kings? There's going to be a mass call as well. And so you can go ahead and register for that, or it will be on YouTube. I see that. And, recording Interfaith Alliance, the sacred tradition of the protest. You can learn more about that. And then, the prep. And so I compiled my own list of what you need to do. First of all, like I said, know your rights. I saw some of you guys actually posted about using the Constitution and holding it up with you. Okay. The First Amendment. ACLU did a training last night. Excellent. Don't go in there blind, y'all. Yep. Kayshawn, that's good. Some people have the small birth certificates, right? In the U.S., the First Amendment protects your right to peacefully assemble. Did you hear what I said? Peacefully assemble. But here's what else you need to do. Make sure, I'm going to go one further. I'm going to go one further. Make sure that you have your cell phones available. In addition to that, make sure that you have on your person battery packs for your devices and the proper attachments to keep them charged. You might not think that simple things like that are important, but nothing would surprise me at events like this, of this size, of this magnitude. They're expecting 5 million plus people. Yep. If you have a burner phone, or a solar phone, by all means. You bought out the Constitution from five. You bought it. You bought it out. What? You better. Bookish Black Boy Mom. Bookish Black Boy Mom said she bought out the Constitution from Five Below and passed them out at a local No King's Day meeting. Come on. Here's my suggestion, Jamie, on that is if you are going and you're okay with keeping your phone on you, a lot of this has to be recorded, because otherwise we won't get the boots on the ground information that we need. And that's for people that are at these ground zero locations. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's bail. Okay, Sean is not lying. Get you some bail money just in case. Yeah, Josh Boss, I had to agree. Bravo on that. Bravo. So get this little book. I got mine at Five Below. I bought two. And let's read that. So we are very clear on what our first, honey, I opened this sucker so hard last night. I cracked the spine. That's okay. Your First Amendment rights are right here. It's on page 53. If you have the little blue book, right? It's right there. The amendments. Here's the First Amendment right here, folks. Go ahead and take a look at that. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. And I just realized what we're witnessing right now is them trying to establish one religion. And I have a problem with that. Even though I have lived in a Christian home, was raised Christian, the whole thing. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. So let me go back over it again. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Exactly, Jamie. So what we are realizing is a couple of things have already started happening of the dismantling of the First Amendment right in our faces. Number one is establishment of religion. Everybody don't want to be Christian. There we go. All right. Prohibiting a free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech. Well, we've noticed that. How are they doing that? By attacking the way that we're able to communicate with one another through the mediums that we currently have. By sequestering us to just the US of A on social media. Have you all noticed that? You notice that if you even try to look up World Talk, you don't get a lot of things now anymore. I don't see the people that I follow in New Zealand anymore, or in the UK. I don't see them anymore at all. And I know who I follow. They don't even come up no more. I gotta go search them, and sometimes they still don't come up. So that's been taken from us. Your freedom of speech, not being able to say specific things. Okay, you're not going to be able to do any of that. And then also your ability to peaceably assemble. So Kayshawn asked a question earlier. So what we are learning is they are planning on being in California, Southern California, at the naval base, celebrating the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Navy, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not reading my notes right now. During this time, the No King's Day rally is going to be occurring. But also what they plan on doing is shooting missiles as a part of the celebration during the No King's rally. Do y'all think that's a mistake? Do y'all think that was a, oops, I did it again? It was an accident? It was not. It was absolutely not. Okay. All right. Now, I wanted to read that first. Yeah. And they're shutting down roads. So Newsom, I saw that today. Gavin Newsom said today, or in a post that I read, that they're shutting down specific areas of California on the highways specifically, and roads. And they say that it's to protect who? Protect who? Protect who? Let's talk about that. Okay. So let me go back to this, and then we're going to dig a little bit deep. Yeah. Right. trying to create the fear. Now, a couple of other things that we're going to talk about, but let's get into the safety part first. Before you go, plan and prepare. Know your rights. We just read the First Amendment. If you do not have a copy of the U.S. Constitution, make sure that you have it. It's on page 53 if you get the little blue book. Okay, it's on page 53. That's where it starts. Now, there are other documents in here as well, but this one you need to carry with you. Now, police can only order dispersal if there's a clear and present danger or illegal activity. I need you all to understand that. They can only order dispersal if there's a clear or present danger or illegal activity. If you are exercising your First Amendment right, you should be protesting peaceably to ask your government to take a look at your grievances and redress. We already know. Now, here's something else. Check your local curfews or protest laws before you head out. Number 2, dress smart and safe. Whatever you're going to wear, your t-shirts or whatever, you know you're going to wear that. But depending on the weather and what it's going to be on Saturday, pay attention to what you're wearing, whether it's layers or whatever, and neutral colors. You know you're going to have your signs or you may not, okay? But remain as neutral as possible so as not to easily identify you. Closed-toed shoes. Make sure you got some comfortable shoes on, folks, if you're going to be doing the walking part, okay? If you wear contact lenses, consider replacing them with glasses, because you do not know if there will be tear gas or pepper spray that will be used, and contact lenses can trap chemicals under them. Something to think about. I saw that. Here's what you need to bring. Face mask or bandana for anonymity and dust protection. Okay? Goggles, swimming goggles. They're or chemical resistant goggles, right? So like you can get those at like the Dollar Tree. You can get those. Hat or helmet if you expect police presence, because you don't know what they're going to do. Hey, deals with Nia. Lightweight long sleeves to protect your skin from the pepper spray, if that will be occurring. You don't know, and you want to prepare for that. Happy Thursday. You know personally, Kayshawn? Okay. Now, here's something else to consider as well. Consider packing a secure small bag. You don't have to carry no big old backpack. You don't have to pack no lunch, none of that, right? I would carry light snacks because you don't know. Hey, Michael, how are you? Good to see you. I would carry, number 1, like Kayshawn said, your documentation, your ID, your birth certificate, if you have a copy of it. And I mean the one that has the certified, almost as if you're applying for a job and you get the job and you got to go in and turn in your I-9s. Make sure you have your documents with you, not your social security card. Make sure you have documentation proving that you are a U.S. citizen. The reason why I'm bringing all of this up, and I decided to start with this first, is because I've been watching what the White House has been saying. I have been watching, and I saw the roundtable on Antifa and how they're spinning this to make this seem like this is an anti-America piece that is happening. And it is absolutely not. It is very clear in the name of the activity. It says no kings. That's very clear, is it not? That has nothing to do with America. Okay. All right. So make sure you consider an ID, consider a copy of your birth certificate. Again, yeah, do not bring your full wallet. Leave all your stuff at home. If you can purchase a gift card, I absolutely would, and put cash on that, or use cash. I would use them in small amounts. Emergency contact information written on paper and on your arm with a magic marker. This is where I used to put mine. Oh, I'm telling my business. But yes, I used to write right here and wear long sleeves. Okay. Again, water, snacks, something you can carry with you, like a protein bar, something like that. Remember, this is a rally, and I'm going to go here, not because of anything else that I have read, but from personal experience and from these previous rallies. This is not a carnival. This is not a pleasure cruise, right? For those of you all who are considering going, remember that you are not here to be comfortable. The folks that made a decision during the civil rights movement to do what they did, they didn't do it to be comfortable. Please keep that in mind. At the last one, they did a survey, and a couple of folks were upset that there were no bouncy houses. What the hell you thought this was? And that they didn't get an opportunity to stop and get their coffee. Y'all for real? What are we doing? Then you came out just to say that you were a part of history. You didn't mean it, because some of this means you will be inconvenienced. Some of this means that you are going to have to make sacrifices. And did, Anna. Yes, and did. Exactly. Norvell says, do not bring young children. This is not that kind of activity to do that. Because we do not know what to expect. Because again, after I have watched what these people have said, they have every intention on having folks at the ready for this. Yeah, they want a carnival type protest. What the hell you thought this was? Yes, I said it just like that. Are you guys for real? What planet are we on? Don't bring the babies, leave them babies at home. And here's something else. I know there are some people who know that they want to be out there, but we're talking about an estimated 5 million plus people around the country. If you are on nokings.org, go look at that daggone map. The entire country is full. And other countries have made a decision to carry out their own. Right. And Kayshawn, I understand that family members did it back in the day in Selma, but let me say something. We ain't Selma. These some soft heads out here. They're not ready for this. I would not dare bring my granddaughter out here and knowing that her mother has prepared her for another specific type of life. These folks, some of those folks are from the era that we're from. I wouldn't dare, because they're not even the same. My children are not the same. And spread love, guess what? You will support in other ways. Exactly. All right. Now, again, emergency contact info written on paper, or if you're not allergic, write it on your hand. Write it on your arm. Here, get your contact information, put it there. So if something were to happen, then what you do is just, yeah. And so we just talked about that, Geisha. And Wig is prepared to put flashbangs and mace. No kids should be there. Yes. Hey, Lee Marvel, how are you? Welcome. Welcome to the day shift. If you are new here, I was going to do the news, and then I got to thinking, you know what? Let me just go ahead on. Hey, Tony. Hey, M-Papas, how are you? Welcome. Thank you so much for those of you all who are joining me on the other platforms. I appreciate you. I have a bad habit of switching screens, and I need to stop that, so I can't see y'all when you're talking, and my apologies for that. So let me go ahead and pull up Facebook so we can see that, because I see y'all talking over here too. Yeah, so what I want you all to do is to just be prepared. So Michael, what we're talking about is No Kings. If you will be in attendance this weekend or at any other additional rallies, that's what we're going to call them, we're talking about the things that you need to know. Know your rights. Let's go over it again. If you have access to this bad boy right here, this is the U.S. Constitution. Understand your First Amendment rights. Your right to peaceful protesting is in here. It is your First Amendment right. If you do not have this copy, which is on page 53, you can get this at Five Below for $5. Okay? Go get you a couple. Pass them out. It's on page 53. It starts the actual Constitution, okay? It protects your right to peacefully assemble, record public officials, and express your opinions. The police can only order dispersal if there is a clear and present danger or illegal activity, and no one is going to do that. We are peacefully protesting. Check your local curfews or protest laws before you head out. Know exactly what they are and follow those. Dressing smart and safe is another thing that you need to do, okay? Wear neutral layered clothing because you don't know how hot it's going to be, right? That's number one. Avoid logos, bright colors, or anything that can easily identify you. Use sense when you are preparing to choose. Don't go out there with no Chucks on. You know Chucks is for show. Get you some shoes with a good sturdy. Did I paint the paint? No, I did not. Actually, I found that at a resale store and it has my name on it. And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, don't go out there with those Chucks on, because I have a pair of Chucks right now. I know that these are just for like me going to the grocery store, running real quick, right? But I would never wear it to something I'm going to be walking too long time. So wear comfortable shoes and make sure they are closed toe. Don't go out there with no sandals. We don't care about none of that, okay? We don't care about that. We want you to be safe if you are going out there, okay? Avoid contact lenses. This is a big one. I know you want to go out there and show your big, pretty, beautiful eyes. You know what I mean? But remember this. We do not know if tear gas or pepper spray may be administered in whichever area of the country that you're in. And that tear gas or pepper spray can be caught up under your contact lenses. Correct. No black, no camo. Thank you, Geisha. Okay. Make sure that you're bringing some type of bandana or whatever, number one, because if they do start spraying, you want to make sure that you're able to cover your face. Y'all know you still got a whole box of COVID masks somewhere that you got. Go ahead and put you a couple in your little bag. Get you some long sleeves. Lightweight to protect your skin from the pepper spray. And also to protect the name that you're going to write, your contact information, if you were to be impacted or picked up or accosted, then you can have that information available for somebody to grab if something were to occur. Okay. Lightweight long sleeves. Okay. Pack a minimal secure bag. Here's what's really, here's some other things that are important. Don't go nowhere without your ID. Your identification is important. Consider bringing a copy of your birth certificate, especially if you have the small one that they give out that's certified. Make sure that you have that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Do not bring your full wallet. Be like, you know how sometimes you put everything in your purse and you be like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead. No, don't do that. No masks in North Carolina, she says. Again, find out what the laws are in your areas for this. Yep. Find out what the laws are in your area for masks and things like that. But if they're going to be using pepper spray, make sure at least you have a damp bandana or something in a Ziploc bag that you can pull out if you need it. Okay. Again, your emergency contact, either somewhere written down or written on your person. When I was doing it, I would write it right here. Y'all see how I'm all these different colors, right? So I would write it right here. Okay. Water and snacks. You will not have time, if you are doing this correctly, you will not have time to stop and get a burger. What time is lunch? You probably won't have one. You shouldn't want one because you're there with a purpose. Okay. Get you a couple of protein bars, put them in a little bag. And make sure maybe like a little zipper bag. Like if you can get one. I have a big old Oakley one. Okay. And then I have like these over the shoulder bags. I used to work for Oakley. So I have a ton of these that I gave out as Christmas gifts one year. So I just carried this with me. I don't even carry a purse anymore. And it has multiple layers and it gets pretty big if I open it up. And it has a jacket connected to it. Okay, so if you can find one of those, it'd be really cool. Let's see what else. Saline solution. Saline solution. Why? In case tear gas. We're not saying that's going to happen, but again, they talking about making sure that they reach out and touch Antifa, because I want y'all to understand that's what they think this is. Okay, is this anti whatever law rally? All right, so saline solution. Here's something else. If you're going to be bringing any type of cellular device, whether it is a burner or whatever, please make sure that they are fully charged when you leave and that you have a backup phone charger. Y'all, you can get those at again, Five Below sells them. You can get them at Dollar Tree. They're little, they're slim, or even if you have a big dog. I have a couple of the big dogs that are solar powered that I got off a TikTok shop, and I carry those because we film a lot. And if I'm on site, I can pull it out. If it were me, I would absolutely pull one of those out and keep my stuff connected. Okay. Hand sanitizer. Yep. Do not wear expensive jewelry. Don't come out there with nothing. Just come. I wouldn't even wear these little cheap things. Suma said we don't bring phones because they can trace you. But there will need to be, and I'm just going to put this out here, if you are going to be using your phones, use it to make sure that you're tracking and you are recording and sharing what's happening on the ground, because we don't know what's going to happen. Yep. Share your location with someone. Thank you all for this. Faraday bags. I'm sure there will be agitators in the mix. Of course there will be. Of course, you already know it, Kim. If you're going to bring your phone, bring a burner phone, turn the location off. That's good. That's good information. There you go. You can put your phone in a Faraday bag, just in case. Good one. And then, like someone said earlier, tell someone where you're going to be. Share your location, the time that you're going to be there, and expect a return with somebody that you trust or a family member. I cannot believe in 2020 daggone 5 in the US of A, we are having this conversation. What is happening? Exactly. Do the buddy system. Do not go alone. Fanny, I can't believe it's right. Like, I just had like this ding, ding, ding moment while I'm sitting over here watching my granddaughter fix her lunch. And I'm thinking about my grandchild, and I'm like, Ivy Dana, this is happening in her lifetime. Like, yeah, share your location with a few people. And there may be, checkpoints where you guys are going to check in. Yes, and that's something else. And I'm definitely going to say that. First aid kits. Get y'all some first aid kits. Yes, I'm getting ready to go get my bag. You do not have to carry your big bag like I have. But I have these little first aid kits that I carry with me. So I have that, and it's just like little stuff. We do it now so she won't have to again. Come on, Linda. Yes, there you go. I can't believe it. So first aid kits, and they don't have to be big ones. So if y'all can go to Dollar Tree, that's where I got my little first aid kit from. Hang on. Here we go. Here is my bag that some people tease me about, but it is amazing because everything that I need is in here. So if you happen to be a person that's gonna be having hot flashes and you are not on HRT, get you one, $1, okay? And get you a small little notebook if you need. You know what I mean? So you can take notes and you can kind of highlight, because you may want to blog about this later. You may want to talk about this. You may want to identify and write names so you can report if you need to later. Where's my first aid kit? So my first aid kit is not in this bag. Yes, it is. Okay, so get you a little first aid kit. They're super, super cheap. Oh, just in case, you never know, they was $1. Okay, get you a little. I'll probably put it in the other bag. But hand sanitizer. I keep my hand sanitizer on the side. Get you one of these, clip it onto your bag. You see that? Fill it up if you need to. Okay. Clip it on. Little essentials like that. And you don't need to. And then here's something else. Get you a little bitty, get you some Advil. Do whatever you need to do and carry what you need and keep it small. Here's something else. This is like one of those that you stick in your nose if you need to. Right? And I still can't find it. But you know, the little thin first aid kit, okay? Get you one of those and do what you need to do and have it on your person when you go, okay? This is a charger. So I have a charger here. Travel size stuff, exactly. So this is a little charger that I have here. So if I ever need to go out anywhere, I know that it's in this bag and I can just go ahead and grab it. So I have this personal charger here. It's always fully charged whenever I go and do something. So I can handle my personal business. So yeah, I keep that in here. And if I ever need to grab anything, I just go in here and get it. I would not dare take my house purse or my house duffel bag anywhere. But if I need to pull anything out of it, I have it and it is available. Okay. So there's that. Yeah. So there you go. And then again, you know, run to the Dollar Tree, take you about $5 or $10 and just go and grab a bunch of this stuff. Yes. Get you a charger. Don't forget. That is my, it's okay, Sean. That is my house purse. Mm-hmm. Yes. People think it's a game out here in these streets. It is not. I actually have a house purse. But yeah, that's one. Set a check-in time. When are you guys gonna, you know, if two of you gonna be over here and two of y'all gonna be over here, when are y'all gonna connect? I know, Cynthia, isn't this crazy? Like, who would have ever thought I would be having this conversation? Hey, Sunshine, how are you? Thanks, Tony. We appreciate that. Yeah. So that's number 2010. Yeah, that's how I feel we're talking. All right. Again, something with some Band-Aids, something, because you never know. Somebody may trip and fall. We don't know. Get you something so you can clean up scrapes or burns or whatever right away. Disaster preparedness list is on FEMA's website. Yes. So Walmart has a whole travel size section as well. Hey, Wendy, how are you? Now, during the rally, stay alert and be aware. Because they have made it clear. Where did she go just that quick? I didn't even see her walk past me. They're like little ghosts. Be ready so you don't have to get ready. That's my thing. That's your philosophy. Yes, I understand. Keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of exits, side streets, and where crowds or the authorities or police lines are moving. In larger cities, we're probably going to expect that. Avoid getting trapped between the police and barriers. Stay with your groups if you are going to be with a group. I would not do this by myself. Move calmly if things escalate. They know not to do that. They know, Michael, they know what the First Amendment says. What we don't need to do on the other side is to agitate them, because then that's when the hell starts. Even though we know the First Amendment is out there, we know what they did in Selma. So that may or may not hold, because they think that they're coming for an organization called Antifa Renee Keyshawn Lewis. Bug out bag. Be ready. Don't panic. As hard as it may be, that can cause a lack of knowledge and reaction skills. Yes. Bookish Black Boy Mom says tampons will help with large wounds if that happens. Michelle, I don't think that there is such a place. We're not sure. It is Nanurk. Nanurk said this is a whole new ball game with 47. Me either. Spread love. I was just saying that. I don't know if you just popped in, but I was just saying I can't believe this is happening. Yes. And then those first aid kits, they have little plastic gloves. Tampons and tourniquets. Minnie Mouse? Oh, she's okay. I didn't see you. I didn't see you walk past me. I was trying to figure out where you were. You're awful quiet. Yep. Let's see. Now, here's something else. If you are going to be bringing your phone, listen closely to this. Turn off face and fingerprint unlock. Use your passcode only. Disable your location tracking and your Bluetooth. That is if you cannot get a burner. Keep phone in airplane mode when not using it to minimize tracking. If you are going to be recording police activity, stay at least 6 feet away. Don't interfere and announce you're filming for everyone's safety. Yeah, Tatty Face, here we are. Interact carefully with law enforcement. Stay calm and polite. Don't argue or resist. Girl, don't have me go to Five Below today. I'll be up the street. I'll be in Lovejoy later on, trying to get that Urban Preppers Guide. Ask clearly, am I being detained or am I free to go? Y'all, I can't believe I've been on here an hour already. Golly. So you know, in an hour, they make you identify that you're human. It's the craziest thing. Yeah, Five Below has them. Have copies of your papers on you. I can't believe we are having this conversation, y'all. Now, for some Black folks, if you grew up where I did, we used to this conversation. Make sure you got your papers on you. That's my foster parents used to tell us that. Don't you go nowhere without your papers. Papers, not your ID, none of that. You got to remember they grew up in the 20s, so you can only imagine their parents were from another time. Make sure you got your papers on you. Yeah. If detained, you have the right to remain silent and ask for an attorney. You heard what Kayshawn just said? If you didn't hear, let me read it. Body cams, make sure they're small and charged and hidden. You know, they have like the little bitty ones. Sad part is I tell my kids that all the time. Yeah, I tell my son that all the time. And you all, if you've ever seen him, he's not my color. And he really doesn't look 18 either. At least to some folks who have mistaken him for a 20-plus-year-old man. For real? Well, here we are, Cindy. Get your IDs, get everything together. Mini body cams on Prime that can be delivered in the next day or two. Yeah. I know, Cindy, right? Like, can we believe this is happening again? Like, I was telling you guys about this the other day. I'm old enough to remember when I was living in Wisconsin as a small child. I remember when the schools were desegregated. I was there. I can't believe this is happening again. Those people lost their damn minds. I still can't believe it. And here we are again. Didn't want their children to go to school with monkeys. And I'm old enough to remember those folks saying that. Hey, Hayes, we're talking about the rally happening on Saturday and some things to do to plan and prepare. In Cleveland, you remember that? And people think, oh, that happened in the 60s. No. This happened in 1976. I recall. Your grandmother's stories are ringing in your head so loud. I know. Okay, calm down, because this is really upsetting to me. I want y'all to know that we're even having to have this conversation. All right. So where were we? Hang on. Let me check on my other people. Okay. We're still here. Thank you for the likes, everybody. I appreciate that. Okay. Where was I? Okay, here we go. So during the rally, that's what I'm gonna call it. Interact carefully with law enforcement. We got there. Okay, so if tear gas or pepper spray is used, don't panic. And I know that's a lot because I've been in a situation like that, and sometimes you just have to drop where you're at. Move upwind and out of the area. Don't rub your eyes or your face. Remember, you got the saline solution. You're ready to rock and roll. You got your damp towels with the water or the vinegar on it. You should be okay. Rinse your eyes with clean water or saline. Y'all can get the big bottles of Walgreens salines, or maybe get your little small one that you can utilize, or just water. Do not use milk or baking soda because that can actually worsen the burns. Get out of contaminated clothing as soon as possible and put it in a plastic bag. So what you're going to need? You're going to need your little plastic bag. Get you one of them big ones you can fold up. Where? Dollar Tree or Dollar General. Me either, Tatty Face. I was just talking about my granddaughter. I need this to be done with. We need to go ahead and knock this up. Yep. We need to lock this up. Ziploc bags, get the big ones just in case. You miss your parents, but at this moment, I'm glad they're not here. Go to Five Below, get Constitution, Pepper's Guide, First Aid Kit, and Charger, Dollar Tree. In that order. If you already have it, like Medusa Ray said, use that. Okay? If violence breaks out, and we've heard what they're planning on doing from Capitol Hill, they're looking and calling us terrorists and so forth. Okay, so if violence breaks out, avoid running. Walk quickly to the nearest exit, which means remember keeping your head on the swivel and paying attention. That was why. Avoid picking up or throwing anything because that's what they want. Don't give them that. Find a safe structure, a store, a car, an alleyway until things calm down. Tarsha, that's a good one. Put an air tag in your pocket. Never separate from your buddy. After the rally is over, get to safety before posting anything online. Get to safety. Unless, of course, some people I know are going to be live, and you may not be able to depending on where you are. Check photos for metadata that could expose your location. Decontaminate. Exactly. Silver Fox says do not engage. That'll be their excuse to become violent. Yeah, Mike Jack, I saw that. We just talked about that. So they're supposedly having this 250-year anniversary thing for the Navy. And they're doing it literally out there in California. So they're going to be sending missiles over. So yeah. Wash your clothes separately once you're decontaminating, and rinse your eyes and your skin with clean water or saline again if you have been exposed to any of the gases, or if you've been exposed to what? The tear gas or the pepper spray. And then the next thing is to do this. Document and report. If you were detained, injured, or witnessed misconduct, write it down. Get officer badge numbers. Time of the place and the incident. Remember in my little bag, I showed you with the pen? Yep. Get you some lawyers. Have them ready. Witness names and their contact information, which will probably be written. Get a black marker right on your arm. Cover it up. Because that's going to be the area that you're going to have the long sleeves on anyways. Silver Fox says, I'm literally getting goosebumps listening to this. How did we get here? We know how we got here. We know how. And I know that that's a rhetorical question. But we know how we got here. I'm literally emotional. It takes a lot for me to get emotional, but I am furious that this is where we are. Now, if anything were to occur and you're detained, injured, or witness misconduct, make sure that you're filing your complaints with civil rights groups like the ACLU, National Lawyers Guild, etc. Yes, you got long hair. I don't care if it's yours or not. If you bought it or whatever, pull it up in a bun, pin it down. Leading with non-engagement, locking arms, and being walled seems okay. I mean, you're not doing anything. Single braids out the way. Unfortunately, this has been planned for decades by Heritage Foundation. Yeah, absolutely. And let me tell you something. If you think that they hadn't anticipated this, you're wrong. Because we do not know what to expect. And you want to make sure that just in case anything were to go down, guess what? You don't have to worry about your hair being in the way. Yep. Here's something else. No emergency legal aid numbers. Get that local information. And here's something else, because we just said it several times on this live. Do a mental health check. I don't care what anybody says, even though I say I'm ready for this, right? And I will not be there to be at the rally. But let me tell you where I'm going to be. I will be handling it from where I currently am, the way that we talked about. We're never off. I need you all to understand that. Yep, Heritage Program was betting on this. They ready. Mm-hmm. Good for you, Brittany. Yep, always follow up. Tony says always follow up. Yep. Put dates on signs. Exactly. Become a safety contact for someone if you need to. That's another thing. Don't be afraid to be that. Okay. What else do we have here? Y'all, it's 1:30 y'all ready. Digital security. First of all, let's go back to mental health check. Protests can be traumatic. Talk to someone afterwards if you need to, especially if you experienced or witnessed violence. This is violence enough for me. And I've seen some violence in my day. But this, I never thought we would be at this point where we were actually having this kind of conversation. And am I going to go over it again? Yep, tomorrow. Some of you guys are going to be traveling to your destinations on where you plan on going. Yep, Kayshawn said, have your bail money ready. Because you just don't know. You just don't know. If you do have money on you, make sure that it is not your regular credit or debit cards. Please make sure that it's cash on hand if you can get it. Or if not, don't bring all your stuff. Get you a little something. Exactly. Hard Pass said it best. Every role is important. Support from every perspective is valid as well. Lady Nadia, I hope I said that right. Yes, cash. So we're talking about the No Kings rally. If you will be attending. If you will not be attending, you only have TikTok. Brittany, the only thing I can tell you is if you are on, if you have access to the internet on your phone or whatever, I would absolutely go to nokings.org for more information. It's nationwide. Actually, it's global. There are about 12 different countries that have decided to do the No Kings rally with the US of A. Yeah, or YouTube. It's nationwide. Yep. People have had enough. And we're not even going to talk about the fact of what we just, learned. We're on day 15 of a government shutdown. That's okay. That's no problem. Come in this room, we're going to share information with you because we neighbors in here. And what? I'm going to watch, and so is my neighbor. That's what we're here for. The information that we provide in this room, you take it for what you need, leave the rest. That's it. Yep. Thank you for that, Soroki Wolf. It does take a village. Every last one of us in here is a neighbor. I may never meet any of you all in person, but you matter to me. You matter. Thank you, Devon. Because we all have a right to what they said the minute that you breathed life into your lungs, that you had a right to, and that was to live life on your terms. As long as you're not hurting anyone, as long as you are doing what you're supposed to be doing in any country that you live in, you should be able to live your life on your terms and live that life to the fullest, whatever that means to you. It's nationwide, Liz 316. It's nationwide. That's right. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Do right because it is right. That's right. That's coming, Silver Fox, this summer. Yep. So I thought that, I was going to do the news, and I thought, no, something in my spirit said, no, you need to go over this information, because there's some of you guys that are going to be doing that. Now, for those of you all who are making a decision not to go for whatever reasons, it's Saturday, October 18th, nokings.org. Hey, Queen Bee, how are you? If you are planning on not going, do like we always say that we're going to do in this room. And number one, we are resisting in other ways, and that is with our dollars. That's what we do here. We don't advocate violence. We don't do that. But we do recognize the biggest thing that gets things to move is money, or the lack thereof, for major corporations. Yeah. Commodities, big box retailers, shop local. Welcome to the neighborhood, Mike Jack. I see you. I know, honey. Self-defense is what you go over. That's right. Stop giving these people your money, and they're fueling and funneling money to these campaigns to get voted in, to get these people voted in for their best interest. And I know some of you guys live in rural areas where there may just be a Walmart or whatever. We understand that. Do everything that you can to keep less of your dollars, to keep more of your dollars out of these suckers, because they literally are doing what? They're taking your money, and they're taking, number one, they're taking your money, because we talked about this last night. They're taking your money that you worked hard for, putting it in their coffers. They're creating PACs and super PACs, and they're turning right back around and taking the money that you gave them. And they're helping to fund this foolishness. And a lot of people don't even understand what PACs or super PACs is. And I know we've gone over it, but like I said before, last night we didn't do it. We didn't do it because we got, so heavy on what we were talking about with what happened with the Pentagon and with NBC News. And then, honey, somebody, a big dog at CBS done walked off the job. She done had enough. So you have to be the eyes and ears now, because your press has had enough. Yes, Costco is number one. They pay their people really well. Everybody that I know works there. They're like, Paulette, Miss Paulette, you might need to come. No, because if I do that, then I can't do this. So, B-Dog, a couple things. So what you can, number one, Target. Come on up out of there. They've already told us how they feel about some of us. And if you believe for what is right, right? Did you see that tatty face? And they tackled the boy and arrested him. And he hadn't done anything. Young black man. ICE running in Walgreens. Yeah, purchase what you want, right? So, and then what we do is we talk about where you can purchase things or where you should consider, okay? We should be learning how to take our resources and stay local in our communities. Think about it. Like in the community, in the city where I live, A lot of these downtown businesses are gone because Walmart showed up and took them straight on out. I know, because you can still see some of the signs. Like, there used to be a place to get shoes, men's shoes only. Then there was women's shoes next door. Then it was dresses. Then it was suits. And then it was hats. Then it was children's clothes. Then it was a toy store. And all of that stuff started to go away. Then there were the local farmers. Guess what, folks? If you ever decided to go into small town USA and look to see what these people have to offer, you will see that some of these stores are still there. And you may walk in and say, oh, I can't afford that. You know why you can't afford that? They have to offset the cost because you keep going to Walmart and giving them your money. You don't have a Walmart in San Francisco? Yep. Old days of bartering. Yep. Walmart kills small business in your small hometown. Yeah. And a lot of people are impacted by that. Yep. Find your local flea market. Y'all, they got this flea market near me about 15 minutes from my house called Peachtree Peddlers. Ooh-wee. You talk about anything that you need. Anything. Cell phones, clothes, new, everything new. And used furniture. Listen, some of the stuff that's in my house right now look like I spent a whole bunch of money on it. Bought it out there. Peachtree Peddlers brought it onto the house. Yeah, I try my best not to go over there. Now, I have gone because I've had to pick up my meds. And I've recently transferred over to CVS. Then I found out CVS couldn't have. But we have a lot of little mom and pop stores here that I like to patronize. And honey, when I tell you they got a nightlife here, it's a strip of bars. And we got 2 breweries. Literally, I can walk to my downtown. Hey, Space Catch Up. We're talking about preparing for this weekend, but how we can resist now. Keeping your money in your pocket. Some stuff you don't need. Costco has a pharmacy. Thank you for that reminder. Yes. And I heard that they're cheap. You could be your own store, Sugar Mama. You might want to consider the Whatnot app then, Sugar Mama. Remember, we talked about that. I will be sharing that on Friday. Bookish Black Boy Mom. I'll be sharing the Patreon tomorrow evening for sure. Yep, Mike Jack is, yeah. And so they're expecting that. No eating out. I mean, unless of course you want to eat out at Louise's. You might have a Louise's in your area. Whoever Louise is in your area. You might have a corner cafe, or something like that. You get my point? If it's local, I wouldn't, because they got to feed their people too. We have this adorable little place here called Grits. And we also have several other locations, but Grits is really cool. And they're local owned. We have several others in this area, and they're all locally owned places. And I love that about this town. And we're still, and it's a part of Atlanta. Yeah, CC, I heard about it. What is it? A couple billion? Yep. You just went to your local Mexican restaurant last night? That's what I'm saying. Yes, honey. Let's talk about that. It's 2 bodegas near me. Yeah. No, it's actually more than that, Cindy. It was 40. Mo Better Brews. Come on. And vegan options. Yes. Yeah. Or the farmers. How about that, Cece? Space Catch Up. It is the No Kings rally around the globe, basically. Yeah. 40. And I saw a woman last night, y'all. She was bawling. She said, "I'm 60 years old," and she was bawling. And she said, "I cannot believe this country is where it is. You literally have voted for this country to be in the state that is in." It's older white lady, like I said. And she was bawling. I don't know if any one of you all have seen it. I felt so sad for her because she was like, we're sending $40 billion to Argentina and people need health care. And Mike Johnson said he is not moving. He is not budgeting. He's not budging until the Dems, but y'all run all three branches of government. What are we talking about? Yup. What are we doing? You got the Senate and the House and you got the executive branch. How y'all blaming that on them? They did that here, Devon. Well, I mean, because it is. A lot of these folks didn't want to do it. I don't think Lyndon Johnson wanted to sign that sucker, but he didn't have no choice. It was an economic move that was happening. It was economic. Just like the bus boycott, that was economics. That's why I'm saying, even if you can't go and stand and walk, it's about the money. We need to remember, we got to follow the money. Where is this money? Where is this money? Where the money going? How many of you all got 401ks and BlackRock is a part of it? Do you even know what BlackRock is purchasing on your behalf that you're paying for with your investment? You probably don't know. Our consumer power is it. Yep. As Ashley said it best. LBJ knew if he didn't, all those Kennedy supporters would come for him and the economic ramifications. Exactly. It was about economics. It was never about they liked us. It was about the money that they knew, that the power of that dollar that we still have. Exactly. Teddy Faye say numbers don't lie. They don't. Of course it is. Donald says this is very serious. I never thought that we would have to experience this in our lifetime. History is literally repeating itself. Yes, it is. And you got to be willing to say, what am I going to stand for? Again, you may not be able to walk. You may not be able to attend. You may not even feel comfortable doing that. Well, thank you for that, Mercedes. I hope I said, or Mercedes, depending on where you're from. It's a beautiful name. Yeah. So let's end with this, because y'all know we're gonna come back to tonight for the night shift, and I don't want to wear myself out knowing I got to go to my studio and cut these commercials. What I will do, if you are on Substack, I will go ahead and share this rundown of what we just went over. And if you are a subscriber on Facebook, I'll put it in our group over there. But I will be sharing the Patreon information tomorrow night on how you can become one of the people in the neighborhood, or if you want to become one of the ambassadors for the Neighborhood Watch. My Substack is the Brownstone Brief. Yeah. So there's that. If you are new here, welcome to the neighborhood. That's number one. Yes, it is on YouTube. So the list that I just gave is actually my own personal list that I just kind of compiled. Number one, from past experience when I was in college, called myself trying to do a little something, but then also from, compiling lists or whatever. But please understand that the NoKings.org has an actual video on YouTube. All you have to do is go to No Kings, scroll down, and the training is right there. I see y'all. Go ahead and, okay, Substack, I see you. I am not from Maryland or Maryland. I don't know. I'm not. Me too. Kayshawn, my college years. Oh, honey, you couldn't tell me none. To you as well, Spin the Top. So listen, I gotta go because I promised my son I was gonna cook. How am I gonna do this? He get off at 3:00. You're just gonna have to wait a little while. Well, listen, I'm going to end with this. We'll be back this evening. We're going to cover news and information. And you already know throughout the day, I'll be doing news and information as well on all of the platforms that I am on. As well, you can always check out Brownstone Worldwide. And we're already working on, now listen, in 2026, we're going to be highlighting some of you guys in Brownstone Living Magazine. So if that's something that you might be interested in, kind of just shoot me a hey in my DMs. I'd be interested. Now, there will be some, requirements, but we definitely want to highlight you guys. Brownstone Brief, the Brownstone Brief. And you'll see, I think it's a guy's face on there. That's Vernell Washington, my little virtual guy. All right, Kayshawn, good to see you again today. All right, folks, listen. 3 things that we always like to tell everybody before we end every single broadcast. 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life because you only get one you. You might as well enjoy it. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. We'll see you around.
Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, exciting. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created.